I'll tell you something else inside the numbers here. Biggie ran late today.
Oh.
He texted us, 2 minutes after he usually gets here, and he says, I'm close.
He's always close.
Which is cryptic.
It's close to what?
I didn't know what to say because technically I was on my way, but I was also really close.
I'm close, he says.
To heaven?
And then we knew he was here with the telltale horn beep as he got out of the car on the way out. And then he said, poor thing, as he came in, he struggled last night.
Struggling.
There's a huge struggle with him.
Usually he just passes by and says, good morning, gentlemen.
But today...
This morning he leaned on the door frame and said, bad night.
Terrible. He's got a CPAP issue.
Sleepless night.
Oh.
What's going on with
What happened, Biggie?
Well, if you have a CPAP, you'll understand. There's a little cushion that you have that between the mask and you, obviously.
Hard plastic of a mask?
Yeah, but this is like a soft cushion.
It's like, when you put
But the mask itself is hard.
Yeah,
yes. So they have the
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the sunglass thing on the bridge of your
Bingo.
nose.
Yes, better. Yeah.
And I don't know how, but it's gotten a cut, like just a cut in it. So when I have it on, there's no seal. It has a place for the air to go, so it can't sleep with it.
Yeah. The air
Because it's just...
the air flies out. I know what you're talking about.
Have you tried any of the Flex Seal family of products?
Well, I tried tape, obviously.
You taped it to your face.
No.
I would do. That's what. See, sometimes
No,
I lose the seal. You lose the seal a little bit, and so I have to tape it to my face.
Yeah.
To
With
make
what?
sure that it stays on.
Duct tape?
Yeah, duct tape. I put it across the top to make sure that it stays on. Because if you lose your seal, then you've got fluttering air coming up into your eyes.
What does that sound like? So it's audible as well as
The worst.
annoying.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
Like that
terrible.
audio from that farting horse that we have.
It's terrible. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Kind of,
absolutely,
yeah.
It's
You
absolutely
need a new
terrible.
gasket, Biggs.
Well, that's the issue is, you can't just, I should have an extra probably, but that's never happened to me before. And I've had this thing for 10 years. So I taped it and then that wasn't working. So I started just shoving tissue paper in the top where it was kind of, and trying to fold it to make the seal again, which would work, but only for 30, 45 minutes at a time. So as I would start to get to sleep, I'd feel it and be suddenly,
Then you get that sound.
you wake
again.
up
Here's
immediately.
what Dave's talking about.
Oh, so good.
That's it.
Except it's not good.
It's the opposite.
We should do that. Should be like a sound game. Is that a horse passing gas, me on the treadmill, or Biggie with his CPAP?
Not
issue?
sleeping.
It's terrible.
When did you notice the issue with your mask, Big? As soon as you put it on?
Oh, as soon as I put it on last night.
You have to go on Amazon and try to get something new now.
Well, I've overnighted something, but I think it says it's going to come tomorrow because I ordered too late at night to get it today.
Another difficult night for you.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough.
Well, because you think you got it. I think the most I probably slept straight through was an hour.
Would this be, you tell me if there's a good idea, a bad idea, Biggie. Would you take something like a Z-Quil on a night like this where you know you're not going to have your mask, a sleep aid?
Well, I take Z-Quil gummies every night, the melatonin just to help kind of.
Every single night.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Every night?
Even out, yeah.
Even okay. So you want to mellow yourself.
Exactly.
Put your CPAP on.
They don't keep you asleep, but they do help me get tired, which has led to me going to bed earlier, which is good.
There's a sleep expert who says today, if you're going to take a nap, then this could be a day you're going to want a nap, He says do it at take certain lengths of nap. Heard this before. His name is Jeffrey Iliff, and he says, I have been studying sleep for the last 20 years, and the perfect nap lasts this length.
There's good napping and there's bad napping. When you wake up after a nap and you feel like you just got hit by a truck, it's because what has happened is you started to build what's called sleep inertia. So once you start sleeping, after you get past a certain point, your brain gets into the mode that thinks, oh, we're doing this for the next 8 hours. And if you interrupt it after it's gotten past that point, it's sort of a rude awakening. That's why when you nap, you should actually nap either a very short nap, 20 or 30 minutes, or setting an alarm for a 90-minute nap. A 90-minute nap is enough time for you to go through an entire sleep cycle. Not long enough for you to build a lot of sleep inertia, but enough time for you to actually get some of the benefits of sleeping.
They're 30 minutes of sleep or 90 minutes of sleep, but not more than 90 minutes of sleep. And not 60, because then you're in the middle of that cycle, you know.
Yeah, we once had a mentor. He used to work here, now works out west. He used to say, do it in 45-minute increments, either 45 or 90. Those were his
That's
rules.
right. That was his thing.
I never heard the 30.
I neither. That's the sleep guy.
But sometimes I'll do a 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just tell my phone, wake me up in 20 minutes.
If you do 2 hours, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Even 90 sounds like a long time.
Well,
Agree.
The thing with him, with our mentor, and with this guy was 90 was the cycle that you go through. Then you're back up to like you're not as deep
Right.
into sleep.
It's
So
the
you're
cycle
back
of
out
life.
again.
But there are 10-minute naps that do wonders.
He says our old mentor, he had read in a book that if you do 90, if you go longer than that, you might as well go to 3 hours because that's the cycle. It's 90 minutes.
Yep.
Always 90 minutes.
I have seen these things. Have you and Biggie seen these commercials for get off your CPAP? And is it a pill or a drug or something? Do you know what this is?
I shut that off.
Really?
Yeah, because I love my CPAP.
These are the guys sitting in the circle like at a
Yeah, and they all brought their
like in a
hoses
meeting and
with
they,
them.
and they
bring
rip
their
off their
hoses,
masks.
yeah.
And this guy, but is it a pill? You don't want to know?
I don't know. I don't know what that is because I have looked at things before, but I don't want to get off my CPAP.
You developed a relationship with yours.
A very close one.
Yeah.
Do you name it?
No, I've never named the CPAP, but if I did, it would be something loving.
Breezy.
Breezy. Oh, Breezy over there. Yeah, that's what I would
Not
name
Pappy.
it. No, I wouldn't name it Pappy. Breezy's good. I like that.
Breezy is good.
Breezy?
And,
You don't want wheezy though. That's what Biggie's got.
No,
that's
Biggie's
awful.
wheezy.
And if you break your seal, now I've done that. Now if I don't shave or I get too many oils on my face, you start to get an air pops up out of the mask, and then it's under your eyelids, and you're just like all night, like I'm blinking.
Yeah, I got your head out the window.
It's terrible. Another health note here. We reported on this 2 months ago when it happened. A guy named David Bennett went to the University of Maryland Medical Center, where he was given the first ever heart transplant. A pig heart went into a human for the first time ever. He passed. 57. Dramatic experiment, and they said they were hoping to get him a lot more time, of course, but unfortunately, he died at age 57 after only 2 months.
Did he ever have any quality of life after?
I
Or
don't know
was
if
he in the
did.
hospital the whole time?
That doesn't say here in the article. He before the surgery, he was bedridden, on life support, and out of all other options, and was ineligible for a human heart transplant. I don't know why. Wasn't going to get one. So they said, let's throw it. This is a perfect candidate to try it on.
And he's got nothing to lose.
That's right. And that's exactly right. The rules for emergency situations were that they could do it. They fit all those rules. Bennett's doctor said he had heart failure and an irregular heartbeat and a history of not complying with medical instructions. So they could not get him a human heart. He wouldn't comply with the instructions that went on.
We'll give you a pig heart.
We got pig hearts over here.
We got plenty of
human
those.
hearts. Human hearts, but you're not following the rules.
You don't qualify for a human heart.
You want a pig heart?
You're pig-headed, you get a pig heart.
What was he not doing?
Harsh.
He didn't quit smoking, or
Well,
Probably didn't promise to change his diet, smoking, whatever.
when during COVID, guys were turning down kidneys because they wouldn't get the vaccine, and we had doctors call and said, "Yeah, you have to go through a very long list of stuff you have to do to get a transplant," and he wouldn't do it. So they said, "As Chris Demm just said, you can have pig. You
Got
can't
plenty
have,
of pigs.
Yeah, that's fine." And he only made it 2 months.
I wonder if like a they say that the pig hearts are very close to human, obviously. But I wonder like a chimpanzee or an ape.
I know that it seems
They
like that
seem
would be the
even
one.
closer to us
It does.
physically.
Yeah, there must be reasons that
Right,
the
right.
pig heart works better. Chaos on the Masked Singer last night. Anybody watching Masked Singer last night?
I missed that one.
Big deal on it. Apparently,
Somebody's CPAP mask come loose.
no.
More masks. Chaos.
The more mask chaos last night. The guy that was eliminated, his mask fell off. It fell off halfway through, and he was what was he? Horse? Is that what he was? Anyway, no, a McTerrier. He was a terrier dog, and the costume malfunction dropped the mask off, and he was revealed to be some guy on Food Network. So he was eliminated. And then
Like, I know you're rushed with your computer. Was it MC Terrier or was it McTerrier?
it said McTerrier. I think. Is that wrong? It's M,
I don't know.
It's M little C terrier. They called him McTerrier. He had a terrier mask on, and it fell off, so they eliminated him. Meanwhile, one of the contestants, Firefly, choked while singing. Got choked up. We don't know who this is.
What was I gonna do? I let myself go. And now we're flying through.
Somebody needs to help her. Someone needs to help her.
Or him. We don't know who it is.
Hey, somebody go up there.
Cut the concern, Ken Jong.
Get a medic right now.
Now.
Medic!
Turn that music off.
Welcome back to The Masked Singer. Before the break, Firefly had to suddenly stop her performance. She's backstage right now being looked after by our set medic. Her well-being is our top priority. But for now, the show must go on.
Continue.
Turns out she swallowed her own saliva.
Let her choke. Let her choke.
She's okay. She's okay. And she passed through last night. The McTerrier, whose mask fell off, was eliminated from competition.
Good.
What a night.
Do you think we'll find in a couple of years that this Masked Singer is all like WWE? Everything is planned?
Oh, yes.
Well, that one sure seemed planned. She started choking up, and the music came in right at the right time. Oh, my goodness. And then, of course, all the judges were like, this is... Help her! Help her!
Get a medic.
I was waiting. When I heard there was chaos on The Masked Singer, I assumed that it was the night that the mayor was there, Rudy Giuliani, because we know that when they were taping, when Rudy Giuliani was revealed to be a singer, two of the judges walked off. Ken Jong, because he doesn't like Rudy Giuliani, and then...
One of the Thicks?
Yeah, one of the Thicks. Robin Thicke.
Just checking on Ken.
Because he didn't know why Ken left. He's like, where you going,
Ken?
Ken?
We on break?
He walked off.
Is this a 5? Are we on a 5?
He walked off, too. So we're waiting for that. That's later in the season. Last night, man, you don't get much more exciting than that.
Yeah, that's good television.
On The Masked Singer, for sure. An update here also. Yesterday, we heard late in this program in a Demm report that somebody at Walmart had found a wallet with $800 in it.
He was a cart pusher.
Yeah, the cart pusher. It had a lot of money. It was $800.
It was 800, $8,000.
Yeah, one of the other.
800 maybe.
And he kept the money, and the cameras were everywhere and showed that he had kept the money. Meanwhile, today, here's a little good news, a totally different story. In New York City, a man from Honduras had lost his wallet as he was walking through the busy area in Times Square. The wallet belonged to Eduardo Martinez, who dropped it and didn't realize he had dropped it near Broadway and West 49th Street. 2 hours later, he returned and found a police officer and said, is there any chance anybody has turned in my wallet? It had $4,000 inside.
Dang.
And he's from Honduras, and it dropped out. And the officer said, amazing, a woman found it. She gave it to me. And then this was like the cop on duty in Times Square. And so a woman who is unknown and anonymous had just found it with $4,000 in it as she was walking across a crosswalk and saw it and gave it to a police officer. Now, that's a pretty nice deed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Done like that. So he got it back and said, it's amazing because I never expected to see this money again. They had to match his identification. He had an ID card on him, and they matched that with what was in the wallet.
Wow.
How about that? I'm impressed that
Amazing.
somebody did that. Yeah.
Yeah, we
finally.
have found we've been to 2 shows. Went and saw Lyle Lovett 2 nights ago, and then the Lion King traveling show a couple weekends prior. And as we were exiting the theater, I found 2 pairs of reading glasses and a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. And did you turn them in?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the cell phone, definitely.
Definitely.
And reading glasses, too. I mean, I'm not a hero, but if I see stuff like this, I'll turn it in.
Would you?
Wow.
Somebody left their earrings in the bathroom over at the gym the other day, and I'm no hero, but I went out there and said, "There's some earrings in here. I do what I have to do.
Those are mine."
Yeah, you do what you have to do. There was a P1 that emailed and said there's too many cameras at Walmart. In fact,
Too many
cameras at Walmart, and that somebody, I think her cousin goes in there. It messes with his. I think diabetes because the Wi-Fi. No, I read this. Now,
Come on.
Can't be his diabetes. Not the sugar.
No, I'm doing it from memory, but it messed with his something.
Pacemaker.
It messed.
Hold up.
Wasn't-
Let him get the facts out before we tear it apart.
It was a no. It was here. It is.
All right.
Hey y'all, enjoy your program. Was listening to Chris Demm's report about Walmart cameras catching the guy
Okay.
who pocketed money from a wallet he found. It's like a police state there. There are too many cameras. If I wanted to live under that kind of surveillance, I'd move to Wuhan.
What?
That's right.
Okay.
Every time my friend goes into Walmart, her diabetes flares up.
That's because she's stopping at the cafe.
It's
Yeah, that's the little smoothie shop there at the front.
It's the excessive Wi-Fi from all the cameras in there. Google diabetes and Wi-Fi, and you'll learn a lot about this. I had never heard that before.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak to that from a medical point of view,
Mm-hmm.
but what I do know is that diabetes is on the rise, as is Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Yep.
There's more Wi-Fi than ever.
There is. That's right. But now this person said every time she walks into the Walmart, her diabetes flares up. You get a
I
flare.
need a cookie.
Come off the candy aisle, man.
You get a flare up of the sugar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that? I had never heard.
First
anything
I've heard
like
of that.
I never heard anything like that before in my life. Another email today. We were talking about toasters yesterday. The argument is, do you unplug toasters or do you not? My wife is very big on unplugging the toaster as soon as I'm done with it. And I've never understood why, because other appliances stay plugged in all the time. But we did have callers saying, they cause fires more than anything else. And Dave said toasters are in.
I've had firefighters tell me.
A P1 says, I may be in the minority here. I unplug my toaster all the time because I don't trust my 4 crazy a-hole cats. I swear they'll get into it and cause a fire just to destroy me.
Yeah.
And that's Chris Demm. He lives in that hill as well. I wouldn't put it past those cats to try to burn the whole house down, because I guess they could get at cords and mess with
They
them.
might pull it, tug at the cord, or knock it over.
Yeah, I guess that
They
would
could
be
do that with anything.
That would be that's right. Except
But
unless
toasters tend to be lighter.
so they could try to get into that. Anyway, that's what he's saying.